Hello, hello, hello. Greetings of peace, love, happiness. Welcome to Chill Parko Podcast, where we talk only about the real stuff coming from the power within. And as for Chill Parko International, well, it is connecting the globe through humanitarianism, fueled by the power of the seas. What are the seas? Care, connect, communicate, collaborate, create all these together. Why? To bring out the uniqueness of an individual, the unstoppable quality of an individual, the unbeatable quality of an individual. And what does a person do with that? Empowers himself, empowers others, and makes the world a beautiful, brighter place to be in. Because we're spreading smiles, we're spreading sanguinity, we're spreading positivity, and we are enhancing self worth. That is why we have an important topic today with my lovely, charming friend from the USA, the Resilience Ambassador, Martie Smith. Wow. It's lovely always to be chatting with her because she has these powerful anecdotes to share all the time. And, sometimes she gets us emotional as well. But then, there's truth in it. It's all about the real talk, like I was saying. And workplace challenges that, cause us to at times lose our identity. Sometimes we feel we have no control over ourselves. Sometimes we feel that we've become a loser, a good for nothing. Why does this happen? What are the workplace challenges? And what is gaslighting? Something which is really, it's become a kind of a word that's really doing the rounds
Yeah.
internationally.
It's a
Gaslighting. But
it's a
yes,
trend.
it's
It's a
a
trend.
trend now. It's a trend. But yes, before we talk more about this, let's welcome my lovely friend, the Resilience Ambassador, Martie Smith from North Carolina, the United States of America. Hi, Martie.
Hi, Yalka. It's always a pleasure sharing my anecdotes and all the experience I've had that just has made me a better person, has made me want to teach others and grab them under the wing and go with it because we have the ability, if we feel good and we discover the magic ingredients, the hidden recipes to joy, why not share it? It's contaminating. It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
And that's
Yes.
how we need to approach life. Now, work is a necessity, and most of us would rather not if we could. But this is where it's so important to know that work is a competitive environment, okay? And you have to put your dukes up. You have to be strong and firm where you stand, but don't let others sweep out from under you your identity, the person who you really are. Because sometimes it feels like you're living in a different dimension, like you're doing everything right and you were hired to do a certain job, and everybody else is getting away with murder, switching the rules, changing
Yeah.
everything. So it's kind of like you're in your own dimension and they're in a different dimension, and they're trying to convince you that everything you're doing, you're crazy, you're whack, you have no idea, you have no
You're a
clue.
wacko. You don't know what you're doing. You're confused. You're a
That's
confused mass of protoplasm.
so
But yes, you're right.
basically it's just manipulation. It's
Yeah.
manipulation for their interests, to make them sound better, to act like they know everything. And why do I know so much of it? I grew up in an environment that was all about
Me
gaslighting. I
too.
didn't
Me too.
I didn't I didn't even know it was called that. I just knew
I
that
didn't know it, and I let people control me also for a certain
that's it.
phase in my life. And I think that was actually an eye opener because once I decided to just let go and set my boundaries, that's the
That's
time I understood what it was all about and how I had let people control me and think. And I used to think that maybe I really don't know how to do this thing well because they made me believe through their stories, through their fake anecdotes, that I wasn't good enough. Though I was doing everything and I was good enough because they were insecure. I guess this is something which most of us, most of the good people who are good workers and who are workaholics, they face. Because you're good, you say you try to be humble, you're compassionate, but all people are not like that. It's like when you are in a top-notch place and you are in a leadership role, then you become like, it's like the success goes to your head and you have to prove a point to everyone. See, I made A, B, and C do their work. I made Tom, Dick, Harry, Sue, Sally, Jane do their work. But that's not the
That's
way it
it.
is. Every
No,
individual is
and
unique. Yeah.
the worst part about that is not that it just affects you in your job. You start auto sabotaging. You
Yeah.
start
Self-sabotage.
believing
You're right. You're right.
because they alter even things that you know for certain are not the way they say they happened. They
Mm.
make you think, well, maybe I have dementia. Maybe I forgot the
Yeah.
detail. And
Yeah. You
you
start
start
thinking. You start
powering
thinking that way.
down. That's it.
Always find that unique strength that they have within them. Like you found yours through the power of resilience. And we are talking about basically one biggest problem, ladies and gentlemen, at the workplace challenge. There are many, conflict resolution. There are many, discrimination, so many. But this
Yeah.
is something that, you need to actually work on. It is gaslighting. And Marty
Gaslight.
will tell you what gaslighting is and how it works.
So you start believing this never happened. Maybe I didn't get the details. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. So you start justifying and
Yeah.
diminishing the truth that you know is for certain. So then if you get it done to you enough times, you don't believe in anything you tell yourself. So
Yeah.
that is why it's so important to know who you are, what you're about, what makes you go, what makes you tick, what your boundaries are, define them. Don't let anyone shake you off of your own values and virtues. And when you do that, people start, maybe examining the situation in a different way, and they can't manipulate you. They
Yeah.
can't toss what it was that they were trying to accuse you or make you culpable and affect your behavior and your confidence and everything. So there's an acronym I came up with. I love
Okay.
acronyms because
I
it
love
does.
acronyms too. Yoo-hoo.
So so the G is go with your gut. If you start backstepping and going and questioning, right there, that is a signal that something isn't right, that something doesn't agree with you, and your body admits it to you before your brain does. I mean, the rest of you knows. You start getting like a headache and stressing and all right. So always document what you do with your coworkers. That is important. I learned that in the Air Force.
Oh,
Documentation. Because
very
when you
important.
have a
Please, people, note it down. This is useful information, especially because all of us are professionals and we're working in an environment that can be highly toxic if we are not on our guards. And before we know it, we'll start doing that tango of gaslighting. And in order to prevent yourself from tangoing the gaslighting way, it's better to follow these techniques. So, yes,
notes.
Marty, the first thing is documentation.
So the gut, gotcha. Okay, so gaslighting gut. A is always document, always have receipts, especially when it comes to money. You know what happened because the proof is right there. So no one can argue or dispute with you. Now, if you're a slacker and you don't keep records and you don't pay attention to what you do, then they have every right to manipulate you. Not that I would do it to anyone, but that's why you're such an easy target. So don't
Yeah,
let people get in your target zone.
vulnerable, easy target. You're right. You're
Right.
right.
And so the L is for laugh it off. People can't stand it when you laugh. They
Yeah.
they just go like, wait, no, I wanted to upset him. I
Why is
wanted
she
to
still
be.
smiling? Why is he smiling? I actually, portrayed her as some kind of a loser and a jerk, and yet she's smiling.
I want to smile too. So then the I is be instantaneous in spotting the lies because
Yeah.
the lies are going to come up. And that's when you have your checkpoints that you know you've had this, and this, and you documented this, and this. So be always spot the lies instantly. And when you start spotting them, then you know how to protect yourself. The next one is guard your boundaries. And this is like key. If you don't know where you stand and you don't know who's crossing your line, you're going to be up against the wall. You're going to want to quit. You're going to be stressed Monday through Friday, and you're going to want to be miserable. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's not what a job's supposed to do. A job is supposed to enhance our life. Now, granted,
Yeah.
most of us have a job that we just have to do.
Do.
But
Yeah.
if we can prevent gaslighting, we do even better because we're at peace, we're laughing, we're
We're
feeling
enjoying,
alive,
and there's a sense of camaraderie with our
and
colleagues.
you're
You're
more
right.
creative and you're
Yes.
more attentive to all the details that need to be presented in a job.
And you come
The
up with the
other
best.
one, the other one is humor, 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 humor. Everything. Find the joy in the disaster, because if you don't, then you're gonna be crying. You're gonna be upset, and they're gonna say, "See, she's a weakling. Oh, she can't handle it.
Ah,
Oh, why does she want to be in upper management? She can't even take a
she
little
can't even do this.
criticism."
Who gave
Yeah,
her this role? Who got her here? She's a good for
right.
nothing. She's a loser. And the person has done so many things before that and done so many things in the organization to prove a point. But yet they say this because you have succumbed to gaslighting. You are
That's it.
doing the gaslighting tango, ladies and gentlemen. So take care of yourselves. Mind,
And the
mind,
T,
mind.
and the T is take a step back, examine the whole picture.
Hmm.
Don't put yourself in the only reason why it's happening, because there's other factors that affected that situation. So if you know how to do that, then you're not going to give them an opportunity to do it again, or they're going to slow down on you because you're not easy target. Now, if someone, like I said, if someone just, "Oh, well, okay, and submissive, then you're not going to do it. But you have to flip the script. You have to know what it is that they're planning to do, because it is like a crash. This is like a crash course in gaslighting. Okay, so
Yeah.
their playbook is deny, deny, deny. That never happened. Okay, your book is, I know what happened. I was there. I was present. I'm available. This. They twist your words. Don't let them make a, a vegetable soup out of your
Yeah, it's
words.
like we should know the reality. We should be able to, differentiate between the reality and perception. And we can
Right.
only do it if we have a clear mind, if we're in full control of our senses and we have faith in our abilities, like you've been saying. And you have been using resilience in all this, haven't you?
Yes. Well, that's my magic ingredient in it, because now I see that I didn't give up, but I found a way around all that I was facing, and it didn't stop me. So basically, that's what resilience did for me. In that, another thing is, don't ever play the victim. You play the victim, you lost. You've
You've
already
lost
given
it.
in.
Yeah, 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 absolutely.
You're easy peasy. They're gonna walk all over you. You're gonna be their welcome rug.
Wallowing in
Another
self-pity. Yeah, yeah, you shouldn't do that.
in never let them say that they are right. No, you must have misinterpreted. You didn't understand me. Perhaps I can clarify. You grab a hold of the situation and you clear it up for them. You clarify the actuality of your reality, and they're going to say, "Oh, well, they're going to investigate and try to prove you wrong," but then it's on them. It's on
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
So, and the gaslighter's always going to say, "Oh, you're overreacting." They're going to make you feel like you are doing something wrong, but laugh it off. Yeah, I'm overreacting because I know where I'm standing.
You're right, absolutely. This is a wonderful way of explaining how to deal with gaslighting, using this acronym. And I think it'll be easy for everyone to remember this. And again, like we said, the most important thing is be in control of your mind. Don't let anyone take your power away, because once you give it away, you're lost. It becomes a losing battle, and it takes a long time to come back, to prove yourself, to prove that you are truly worth it. That's why, we say self enhancing oneself is
Mhm.
so important, your worth.
Yeah.
Because if you enhance your self worth, you are able to wow the world. And the world will be empowered by, not only you, but you will also get empowered because you'll understand where you are, what are your strengths and what is it that you actually need? Because all of us, we sort of, it's like we are complementing each other. If you have something,
Mhm.
I have something else. We bring it together and wow, we have a winning combination. So
That's
that's
it.
the way we should be working. But the sad part is, oh, so she thinks that she's very smart. Well, let me put her down. Let's start,
Yeah.
proving that she doesn't know her job. She's a good for nothing. She doesn't know how to talk. She's always confused, always anxious. I think this happens to many people, and now that they've heard it from you, I think, they will try to sort out the mess of gaslighting and stay away from this tango of gaslighting. Rather, they should start doing salsa, I should say. or just do the hip hop and just dance away their blues and understand that they are them. I am me, unstoppable, unbeatable, and unique. What do you
That's it.
say?
And another thing is don't be alone with the person that's trying to do this to you. Bring someone else that you trust, and then you have two stories that they have to break. And so that's why it's important to make at least one trustworthy person at work that you can say, no matter what happens, they're behind me, they stand with me. I'm not talking about kissing butt. I'm not talking about, it's just like, to watch each other's backs, to protect, like say you forgot something and that person helps you remember it, because we do make mistakes. That's something
Yeah,
else
we
that we
do.
need. But
Sometimes we do
doesn't that
forget what
doesn't
we had to say, but like you said, documenting is very important. So we must have those documents and papers in place, because people don't go by what you say. They always want proof, they want evidence. So it's very
yeah.
good one has documented. You're absolutely right. This is
So
something
so
we
when you
ignore.
get that neutral party, you feel a little more protected because you know that
Yeah.
you're standing and you're re-emphasizing the fact that you're not the only one that sees things differently.
Mm.
And I remember one time I was being gaslighted and I didn't know. I wish I'd have known back then. Stop, take the
Yeah,
torch,
even me.
whatever.
It
And
always happens this way. But
I
what
said,
was your story? Yeah.
stop treating me like a TV contestant, a reality contestant,
Okay,
because
reality.
when you see reality shows, everybody's like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
so no. I know what's happening. I know the reality of what it is. Now you have to believe in your reality. The only competition you have is with you to be better the next day, to be the next day better than the day before. But don't compete with anybody else. And if you have to compete with anybody else, consider leaving that situation, that job that stresses you to the point where you have to prove yourself.
And
You
this is
shouldn't have
very
to prove
important.
yourself.
This point that you made, Marty, is very important. People hold on, they get attached. I think this is where they go wrong. I think I made that mistake. I mean, I was given many signals, many messages, but yet I hung on thinking that let me go on, let me go on. But that was where I went wrong, because I was given a message, by the universe maybe, that you should just leave because your self-worth is important.
Right.
And what you said just now makes a lot of sense. If something is stressing you out, if something is self sabotaging to yourself, you go home and you're wallowing in self pity and you're self sabotaging and considering that you cannot do it, because then your mind also is not creative. You cannot even do your work properly, the way you should be doing it. So,
That's
it's
it.
so important. Yeah, it is.
So it should just recognize that the
Yeah.
steps are there. They're
Yeah.
obvious if you pay attention.
Just let
But if you
go.
yeah, that's
Because
it. And
yeah,
and
you needed to
and
learn
the
a lesson, perhaps. I also see it this way, Marty, and I think you'll agree that maybe you needed to learn something in your
right.
own process of learning, because learning, like we always say, is an unending process of rediscovering yourself. Maybe you needed to know something about yourself because perhaps you never dealt with those kind of people, so you were thrown in the midst of those people to learn your lessons. And once your lessons are learned, you should just very gracefully let go.
That's it.
No matter
And
no
then
matter the temptations. No
and
matter.
life repeats itself over and
And
over with the
to
same
teach you
lessons.
lessons.
I
Yeah,
wish they'd
everyone
have
should
told
know
me
this.
that. I wish they'd have told me that in kindergarten. You got
Yeah.
homework, but the lessons that you're taking, if you don't learn them, they're going to come back in a different version of the same thing that you
Absolutely.
face, and you're going to keep feeling like you're going up against the wall. You're going to knock
Yeah.
yourself silly, and you're not going to make sense of it. And the reason why is because you're protecting yourself. You're not daring to be bold. You're not daring to be confident. You're not standing on your values, your virtues, and who you are. When you
Yeah.
do that, nobody messes with you. They'll be like, oh, wow, I want to be like that, because it's empowering.
Yeah.
It gives you joy, and it gives you peace and calm, which is what you need to do when you're in a difficult situation working and trying to figure things out. You don't need added insults to injuries to the project
Absolutely.
that you're doing.
Yes, yes.
So that's just my take on gaslighting.
It
But
was wonderful. It was wonderful. Very succinctly put, very beautifully put, and made so much sense, because people need to understand the signs of gaslighting and protect their own selves. Because, like you said, our own self worth is so important. And we're not competing with anyone. I don't have to prove a point to anyone. I don't have to prove a point to A, B, C, or D. I have to compete with myself and become better than what I was yesterday. This was very well said, and I think people should really take. I'm sure they had loads and loads of takeaways from this powerful, impactful little chat that we had on gaslighting. And sometimes, when you're talking about issues or challenges and talking about them so openly, it helps other people understand where they're going wrong in life. And that is the purpose of our Real Talks at Chilparko podcast. We need people to understand their worth. We need people to understand themselves. And we need people to understand that they should not and must never let their power be in the control of someone else. Your power is yours, and no one should be able to manipulate you, control you, or take that power away from you. And remember, Martie will tell you, you are
resilient.
and
You
unique.
are
Yeah,
you are
I
a
know, that's your
miracle.
favorite.
You
Yeah,
are a
absolutely.
miracle, uniquely made. You have an ability beyond your imagination that you have not discovered. My suggestion to you is get around the people that see it in you before you see it in yourself. And this is how you become successful, because you start realizing that all those things that were always nagging at you and you couldn't quite get through, someone else showed you how to get around what was blocking you and doing the very thing that you love to do. So thank you, Alka, for including me in this real
Oh,
talk. I
thank you
hope
to you. Muchas gracias. Te amo. I mean, this was wonderful. And I'm sure we're going to be connecting again. And we have a Lounge the Rhythm coming up where Martie is going to be singing some Spanish songs as well as English. Maybe a Christmas carol for good measure because it's the Yuletide season, everyone. So, what's your favorite Christmas carol, Martie?
mi burrito sabanero.
Which one is that? Can
I
you give
have
me
no idea.
okay, can you give me one in English also? Because I only know the English ones.
Mm, I love Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know that you're a baby boy? I love that song.
I don't know
It's a
this one.
it's a
Maybe
popular.
we should sing
I'll
this. Yeah,
I
I
will
guess
send
we
it to
should
you.
sing this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then also
Okay.
share an anecdote because we are spreading joy. We're spreading smiles, peace, happiness, love. And this is the season because we're now stepping into a new year, 2025. So we must end it, with smiles, with laughter, with fun, with song, with poetry. And yeah, I think
Hope, love, joy, and wisdom.
absolutely wisdom. Yes, Marty said it right. Wisdom for good measure. Yes, for good
Yes.
measure. So once again, a big thank you to Marty, a big thank you to all
Thank
our
you.
audience who joined us on the live and who will watch the live later on. So please like, share, follow, share the video. If you have any comments, drop those comments where you can. And also tell us from which part of the world you joined us. Well, with that, loads of love to you. Stay happy, stay healthy. Hasta mañana till we meet again.
Thank you.
Bye.
I will drop the acronym in the comments so that people can remember.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, do that. Do that. That's very
Okay.
good. Thank you so
Thank
much. I
you.
think that is so sweet of our resilient ambassador, Martie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mwah, mwah. Take care of yourself and
God
see you
bless.
soon on the 15th. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.